Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hands is a Reckless, the new graphic novel from Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. I will say that Brubaker and Phillips is one of the best duos in comics and has been for quite a long time. You see their names on the cover, you know it's going to be quality, and Reckless is another fine example of that. With them and joining them recently, I don't think I really ever paid attention to exactly when, is Jacob Phillips doing colors. So it still works out to be Brubaker and Phillips being a team. Just there's two Phillipses. So Reckless is about Ethan Reckless. They call him a repo man, but he's kind of like a mix of detective, fixer, strong arm. I don't know exactly how you would put him. And it's a your job, you call his number, and he comes and helps fix problems. It could be anything from getting a car back that was stolen to getting money back that's owed you. I think someone said like their dog got taken is one of the examples given. But it's that sort of thing. You pay him some money, and this is what he does. He's very good at it. He also owns a theater as he attempts to go from job to job. Interesting character. It takes place in the 80s. This is a character who very much is a product of the 70s and Vietnam War. It kind of dances around how that impacted men of his age during this time period. A lot of people kind of forget about that when it comes to early 80s and men of certain ages. But it's just a really, really good series. And Ethan gets dragged back into his former life. He was part of an underground radical group, think like the Weather Underground, and has the scars to prove it, and got caught up in some stuff, and he is where he is today. I'm gonna leave it there because the twists and turns is part of what's really, really enjoyable about the series. Just like Criminal's a crime noir series. Reckless is gonna be is more action oriented. I think it's much more in line with kind of like that 70s detective exploitation era sort of films. I think it's much more in line of that than crime noir comics, which is fine. Like, there's just a pulp sensibility about everything that Brubaker and Phillips does that I think goes through this. Like, this. If this wasn't a graphic novel, this screams it would be a dime store cheap book. And cheap, I'm not using it in that bad way, but like expensive wise, like price wise, that you can go and pick up and just really enjoy. Those old pulp crime sort of books back in the day, also comics as well, books back in the day that you went and you soaked up and you read them through, and there's been a few that I've enjoyed. Like, I enjoy that kind of like that classic pulp-ish series. And it's really, really good. From the art, the story, everything. There's so many twists and turns on this. So many things I didn't see coming. Great revelations, great characters. I mean, this is just, it's good. It's really, really good. And the best is we get more coming. The next volume's out in April 2021. Already go and pre-order it. Like, it's going to be hit. It's going to be huge. This, I would not be shocked if there's a sellout announcement, if there hasn't already been a sellout announcement. It's just awesome. Like, this is a duo, or really trio now, of creators that I know I'm getting quality, and I have no problem recommending it sight unseen. I was excited to read this, and it lived up to my high expectations. And I think that's the thing that's really great, is I seriously have really high expectations for these graphic novels and their comics that they put out, and they nail it every single time. Even like the worst of their stuff is still better than most of what's on the shelves. Even on their bad day, they're still better than most. And I mean, partially it's just their writing style and their storytelling and all that. It's just, I love it. Like, I love those crappy 80s action films, the horrible detective films, the exploitation films. Like, I just love all of it. Like, just that sort of pop culture is something I grew up on and adore it. And I will watch it over and over and over and over again and have no qualms about it. And these comics really, for me, capture that sensibility, and I'm so excited about it. Like, I really do enjoy it and just love it and soak it up, and it's one of those things you can sit down and I really feel like I'm escaping, and just, as cheesy as sometimes they are, and sometimes you kind of scratch your head and you're like, this doesn't quite totally makes sense, or even just runs into tropes too much. Like, they're still enjoyable. The ride you take, the characters are always entertaining, the dialogue's great. It's just fantastic. There's just a certain style and flair about it that like I can't help but just devouring, and I think you can kind of tell that I'm really excited about this. Like I really, 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 really love this graphic novel and just these creators. I think they're really top notch. The art is fantastic. So the way I would describe this to me is like the sense and vibe I got about this would be this is kind of like a 70s exploitation, not quite detective, but that sort of like strong guy fixer story, but maybe put like 80s, I would say even 80s Tom Cruise, like maybe late 80s Tom Cruise when he was like a good action hero, maybe 90s Tom Cruise, but with a Tarantino sensibility about it. And that's kind of the vibe I got it. So like I think you kind of got that idea. Like this just I think that works for me. If I was like casting and thinking directing and all that, like that's probably who I want. Maybe like nah, I was gonna say maybe a David Fincher, but I don't think that would even work. That might just be too like messed up and jacked up for a story. Like it just really has to that like cool Tarantino vibe that I like about his films. A lot of stuff I don't like about his films, but like just that style, I think it kind of gets nailed here in a good way. I love the plotting of it. I love the look of it. There's also some extras. There's some really cool process pages. Let me show some of that. I always love the process stuff, and I'm very happy they're including some of this in the back. But yeah, I mean, so this is out now. It's $24.99. Highly recommended. I think it's absolutely fantastic. If you can get it, like, it's a great gift for someone that would love that sort of story. This is like a perfect holiday gift for anyone that likes that kind of pulp, crime, detective, action, gritty story. I think you kind of get a sense of, hopefully you got a sense as to where I'm getting at as to like what the story is like. It's good. Very, really, really good. There's also, I throw in like a little point break style to it as well. There's some surfing, it takes place in California, so you get a little Point Break in there. But yeah, it's awesome. Live on my expectation. Absolutely love it. In comic shops now, go get it. So link beneath this video, you can put in your zip code, tell the shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some affiliate links. There are affiliate links, so we get a small percentage, but go support your comic shop. Some of those links will probably be to comic shops as well, so you can do it through that. And speaking of support, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank Image for hooking us up with a digital copy. And as much as I wanted to read it and dive into it, like I had to get a physical copy to read it myself. So went out and purchased my own copy just because I absolutely had to have it. But yeah, like it's awesome. It's freaking awesome. If you want the latest comic news, Image news, Brubaker, Phillips news, graphic novel news, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.